What's up everybody, welcome to Crappy Reviews, where the games aren't always crappy, but the reviews usually are. I'm the Crapgamer, with you as always. Thanks for taking time to check out another one of my reviews. Today we're going to take a look at Sony's answer to Mario Kart with LittleBigPlanet Karting. But, does Sackboy have the wheels, or is he better suited for side-scrolling platformers? Let's find out, shall we? Now, it's been especially clear that Sony has liked the way Nintendo has done some things. The PlayStation Move was a direct result of the Wii Remote. Mario Kart has been a staple of Nintendo's for over 15 years now, and naturally Sony wanted something to compete with it, and rightly so. Now, we won't even get into the whole PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale deal, but obviously that game has been heavily inspired by Smash Brothers. And when you think of Nintendo, you think of Mario. When you think of Microsoft, you think of Master Chief. But when you think of Sony, there isn't really a character that comes to mind, in my opinion. In the past, though, back in the early days, it was Crash Bandicoot or maybe even Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, but it's become clear that Sony wants Sackboy to be their mascot. It makes a lot of sense because Sackboy is a character people of all ages can enjoy, so giving him a kart racer makes a lot of sense. So let's delve into LittleBigPlanet Karting, shall we? Now, graphically, the graphics are pretty much what you'd expect. They look a lot like the other LittleBigPlanet games, mixed in with a bit of Mod Nation Racers, which was basically a vastly underrated kart racer. I was a real big fan of Mod Nation Racers. I have it on PS3 and I have it on PSP as well, and I think it's a fantastic game, but it just didn't have the big name draw. So I believe that's why United Front Games actually developed Mod Nation Racers and this game as well. They were trying to give it a bigger name with LittleBigPlanet attached to it. Bottom line is that this game looks like a LittleBigPlanet game, and that's a very good thing indeed. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, it's quite simple. Now, there's a story mode that you can partake in, and there are online modes as well. But what sets this racer apart from some of the others is the fact that you can customize the karts. Although you can't really do a ton, it's a nice option to have. Now, there's tons of different modes like battle mode, waypoint races, treasure hunts, and score attacks, as is typical for kart racing games. You basically rely on getting power-ups along the way, and you use these to knock the other racers back a notch or two. Now, you can also use some of these to block incoming attacks from other players, very similar to what you do in Mario Kart. You know, when that red turtle shell's coming on you and it's heat-seeking, and you have a banana or something, you shoot it backwards to stop it. Same concept here. Now, the familiar pod is back, and if you've played any of the other LittleBigPlanet games, you'll be right at home here. One of the biggest and most interesting features of this game is the user-created levels and content, which has been a staple of the LittleBigPlanet games for a long time. There's a lot of creative levels, and it is a huge selling point in my opinion, because you get more content for less money. One negative would be that if you are new to creating things in a LittleBigPlanet game, you'll have a hard time making something. To truly craft a great level, in my opinion, it's going to take you hours and hours, and a lot of people might not have that kind of time to put into it. I'm not very skilled at it, but I've seen some really nice things out there. Now, the servers can lag up from time to time when you play, and the load times are a bit long in my opinion, but overall there isn't really any glaring issues with the game. Now, the story picks up after LittleBigPlanet 2, actually, which is pretty cool, and you're Sackboy and you're facing off against the Horde, basically because they like to hoard things. Get it? Horde, they like to hoard things. So it's not really the most interesting story, but it's a nice added touch to a kart racing game, because not all kart racing games have a story. Now, LittleBigPlanet Karting is a solid kart racing game, but it's a shame that Sony hasn't really advertised it the way it deserved, and it probably won't get a sequel down the road. It's already a couple years old. It does have some minor issues, but if you're a PS3 owner and you like Mod Nation Racers, or you want to play a kart racing game, you'll enjoy this game as well. It's definitely one worth picking up, and it's probably cheap enough to pick it up rather cheap. You know, probably definitely under 20 bucks. Now, it's a fun, despite a few minor flaws, LittleBigPlanet Karting gets a solid 8 out of 10. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe, and rack 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crapgamer, out.